Hey guys, off the top rope here, off the Mike Sports Network. Want to come on here and do a segment on thin skin in wrestling because AEW's got a problem. They are chronically paying attention to what the internet says, what fans say, what content creators like myself say. They're chronically affected by it, and Tony Khan is the boss, and he's chronically on Twitter, and he engages with a bunch of people who are critical of him. That's the first thing, and it's never gone well. I've seen people like Dustin Rhodes, who I have respect for. Ricochet has become very chronically involved on Twitter. Some of it's in character, some of it's ridiculous. Like there's countless amounts of examples of people within AEW who have thin skin, specifically on Twitter. But the reason I'm doing this is a topic that I've engaged in, and frankly, I don't care if I get, canceled or whatever by, certain people within their fan base or whatever. Like, there's enough people who are interested in my AEW content that I'm fine saying this. What transpired at House of Glory on Saturday night in New York when Mercedes Mone goes to House of Glory and has a match with Indy Hartwell? It's a big deal for House of Glory. Um, it's no secret. I've talked about him a lot on this, but I have respect for him. Even if some of his content kind of rubs me the wrong way and he may scream too much. JD from New York, who's I would say, one of the godfathers, really, in terms of the IWC content creation space. He's built his channel up from the ground up and has become a very relevant content creator. He also doubles as the lead play-by-play guy for House of Glory. So, story comes out, he was pulled off of commentary for the match between Mercedes Mone and Indy Hartwell on Saturday night. And listen, whether you love him or you hate him, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. And I see so many people who are Mercedes fans saying, "Yeah, they were right." Guys, this is this guy's job, okay? And yes, he is paid to be a cop. Is he a little bit obnoxious and maybe a little bit over the top? Yes. But this is wrestling, and this is content creation. And I don't think he's been a grifter at all. I think he's been 100% real in the fact that AEW has not been great. And he has been on record, for the record, saying that Mercedes Mone is one of the greatest of all time. That's why this doesn't pass the sniff test for me in terms of, hey, he was right. They were right to guys. He is paid to be the lead commentator. And if you think that I'm doing some internet bullshit, he put a Charmin's soft GIF on his social media on Sunday. This is a true story. And Jason Solomonster, who does a show with him, still was able to do it. He's not as critical, so that's what really led to this change. But I'm talking about this story because this is a microcosm of, trickling down to leadership. And these people are just, their egos are their feelings get upset. They go to social media, they bitch, they whine, they complain, they flex their creative muscles saying, "I don't want him on commentary for my matches." Guys, this is professional wrestling. Who gives a shit what somebody says about you? Who cares? All we are just people who are expressing our opinions in terms of how we feel about certain things, okay? And if you have an issue with what somebody is saying, maybe look in the mirror and change what you're doing. Because despite there being a legion of a fan base for Mercedes Mone, something is clearly not working. And all JD was trying to do was express that, hey, this ain't working. It's not good. She needs to change something. And her response was, hey, I'm going to just, I'm just going to go to House of Glory, go to the promotion that he calls matches for it. And then when my match comes out, I'm not going to have him do commentary. That's weak. That's weak. That's soft. Frankly, and I don't know Mercedes personally, it's really gotten to a point where a lot of her credibility and her equity and her, standing as her legacy is taking a hit here. A lot like what I saw from Chris Jericho. It's starting to become like that. Like I remember when Chris Jericho first went to AEW, and he's also been chronically on the internet too. But Chris Jericho, like he was a hot commodity. He was a big reason why this whole thing started with the match with Kenny Omega and the Le Champion, like a lot of the early AEW. But since then, it's just gone completely the other way. He's not willing to change. He's not willing to do anything different. He's flexing his creative power and creative control, and it ain't working. And, it's one thing if you think you know better and it's like you've been in the business and you have all this equity built up. But when something isn't working, you need to be able to adapt. And Chris Jericho used to be able to do that. I thought Mercedes Mone would be able to have that ability, but apparently that's not it. And I've been critical on this channel. And I listen, if you want to be mad at me about what I'm saying, I don't give a shit. I really don't care because it's just, hey, I'm going to call it like I see it. And this was bullshit. To be blunt, this was bullshit. Like whether you like or hate JD, that's not okay. To just take somebody off of their job because you don't like what they said about you on their public platform. They're trying to, make things better. They're expressing their opinions. It's freedom of speech. To do something like that, I don't care who it is. I don't care what his standing is or how you feel. Like that's not okay. That's not okay. And we may find out a different story about this, but this is just about the trickle down of how this company runs. Tony Khan is criminally on Twitter. He says a bunch of crazy shit. Like, and he gets his feelings hurt a lot by fans commenting about his product. And none of these people want to take the constructive criticism and make the product better. They think everything's okay. We got $170 million a year for the next 3-4 years. We're fine. And all these people who have cashed their guaranteed contracts are like, yeah, you know what? We got the money. I got everything that I want. I don't want to fix AEW. That's why AEW is struggling right now. And no matter what their fans want to tell you, they are struggling. And when shit like this happens, this is just a microcosm of how that company is run. You would never see something like this if in WWE where this would be okay. Like WWE, I mean, yes, the way they handled the Mercedes walking out was inappropriate and I didn't like it, but you cannot have thin skin in not just in wrestling, in any profession. Like you have to be tough and you have to be able to handle criticism. And when I see a situation like this develop in an independent promotion where a content creator who is also the lead play-by-play announcer gets pulled off of a match with a high-profile talent from another company, and I know exactly why it happened, and they can disguise it all they want. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. So anyway, thanks so much. We're over 700 subscribers here. Thank you so much to everyone who subscribed. Hit that like button below. Subscribe to the channel. We'll have a lot more great content coming here. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.